Hello everyone, welcome to aTech. We hope you're well. Today we're bringing you a topic about the future of energy, technological innovation that may sign the death warrant of another energy giant, Tesla. Is that famous hydrogen technology? But is it really possible? How could it happen? Before we answer that, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to keep up with other updates. Let's get started. Electric vehicles are the solution to the current energy problem. The world's oil reserves will soon run out. Tesla is one of the largest producers of this type of car in the world. Elon Musk, its CEO, is invested in a large part of his fortune in financing this green project. But strangely, Tesla has neglected a more promising technology. It is hydrogen. What is hydrogen and how exactly does it work? Let's start by identifying where we find this precious gas. Hydrogen is the major component of the sun. It is also the case for most stars whose energy comes from the fusion and the heat of nuclear hydrogen. It is also the major component of giant planets. It is found in the nuclei of Jupiter and Saturn, but also in the form of solid, liquid, or gaseous hydrogen and other outer layers. On Earth, hydrogen is found mainly in the form of liquid, solid, or gas, but it is also found in smoke for some volcanoes as H2 and methane. Hydrogen was brought to light by the Cadvesian in 1766. He named it flammable air. Indeed, hydrogen burns or explodes in the presence of oxygen. This is how it can form water vapor. Dihydrogen is also called hydrogen in general terms. Hydrogen is also rare in the Earth's atmosphere. On Earth, the most common source of hydrogen is water. Its molecule consists of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Most importantly, hydrogen is the main component for all living matter along with carbon and all organic compounds. But before we go any further, let's make a comparison between the two technologies. This might give you an idea of why Musk wants to go with hydrogen route. A hydrogen vehicle works much like an electric car. Both do not use combustion engine, one uses a hydrogen fuel cell and the other runs on a lithium-ion battery electric battery. That's what the difference between these two vehicles. For the electric car, the energy used is already in the battery. The only problem is that you need to constantly recharge it. As we all know, this takes a lot of time. The hydrogen car, on the other hand, works with a fuel cell, the electrochemical reaction that takes place between hydrogen and oxygen. Both are stored in the cell. This reaction generates electricity that can be by the engine. This leads to the propulsion of the car. A hydrogen vehicle has a longer range, and it is easy to recharge. It only takes a few minutes to fill its tank. If the vehicle is better, why doesn't Tesla want to go down that road? Well, the hydrogen vehicle does have some flaws. Many people think that producing hydrogen is difficult, plus storing it inside a car is not very convenient. But the biggest concern is the safety of the passengers. Hydrogen is stored as a gas, with oxygen represented as fairly high risk of explosion. At first glance, the detractors of the hydrogen vehicle are almost right. In addition, at high concentrations, hydrogen causes lung problems and hypoxia. Common symptoms include headaches, dizziness, drowsiness, and loss of consciousness. Some people may experience nausea, vomiting, and depression. However, technologies are developing in rapid pace. But are we to say that this will destroy Tesla? Many physicists have been working to find a solution to hydrogen storage. They've succeeded in transmitting this gas into a solid body. You probably think that this is a simple change of state of matter, but this opens the door to multiple fields. Before we continue, let's find more about the invention that could change the world of electric cars. Note that hydrogen is the simplest element in the universe. To succeed in transforming it into a solid element is a great feat. For that, the gas was subject to a strong pressure. This causes a detachment of electrons with protons. Such a change is important. The electric current can flow more easily. In a word, hydrogen is transmitted into metal and thus into a solid. The research is still in this test phase, but the prospects of applicants are numerous. Thanks to this, the problem of hydrogen storage is almost no longer a concern. The safety of the passengers is assured. The risk of explosion is greatly reduced, but that's not all. Solid hydrogen is a very energy density. This means that a small fuel cell can contain a huge amount of energy. This can also solve the problem for range. Previously, only small cars could use this fuel. With the autonomy, large and even very large vehicles were now concerned. Indeed, aviation is increasing interest in the use of solid hydrogen. But all this will not happen overnight. It will take a few more years. It is possible this technology will invade the entire automotive market. In the meantime, there's another concern for automakers. This is the large-scale production of hydrogen in the environmentally friendly way. We must not forget that the main objective is to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases. To better understand it, let's see how it works as a fuel. Hydrogen, or more precisely dihydrogen, is obtained by electrolysis of water. This is done by passing electricity through water to obtain dihydrogen and dioxide. To be environmentally friendly, you need to turn a green source of electricity. There are many choices. You can choose solar, wind, or nuclear power, but the most important is the vehicle's engine. Without combustion, it produces only water. This is a big step towards environmentally responsible driving. But despite these technological advances, few manufacturers involved in this process. But why is there such a recluse to use this miracle fuel? The cause of undoubtedly the high cost of its production. Of course, hydrogen is the abundance of the planet. Electrolysis remains the only way to produce it in large quantities. This requires a lot of energy. Some people think that this fuel is more expensive than gasoline. The idea of saving money is therefore to be discarded for the moment, but the researchers are not discouraged. There are other, more efficient ways to produce this gas in very large quantities. Despite these flaws, hydrogen remains a good alternative to fossil fuels. Indeed, it can produce much more energy. This gives it a significant advantage over electric cars. The latter are limited by the battery's capacity to store energy. So far, Elon Musk and Tesla are right to stick with the lithium-ion battery electric car. But that won't stop them from keeping a close eye on the evolution of this fuel. If so, how long will they ignore this great technological advance? Maybe it's no longer time for observations, but for action? We can already see this with the growing interest in the aviation industry. It wants to make the solid hydrogen the alternative to kerosene. Moreover, Alstom's rail company will manufacture and sell passenger trains using hydrogen fuel cell energy. The train, Corradialand, has so far become a unique object worldwide with the support of German missionary, the transport and digital infrastructure. In March 2017, a prototype of the Alstom train was tested at 80 kilometers an hour. This train is thus avoids CO2 emissions. The terminal unit was replaced by a hydrogen fuel cell. It supplies the electric traction motor via a lithium-ion battery. This is located under the bodywork and pressurized hydrogen tank is mounted on the roof. The battery can be used to reduce the power demand on the motor and recharge it during the braking phase. So, does hydrogen meet all the conditions to be considered the fuel of the future? The future will confirm it. Our video is already coming to an end, and we hope we enriched you. Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, leave us a little like, and enable the notifications. Thanks, and we'll see you soon on aTech.